New York's classic rock. Q1043.
Welcome back, Jonathan Clark. We are in the studio with a band called The Professionals, and they certainly are. It is Paul Cook right here, a drummer extraordinaire for the Sex Pistols and many other bands, and also Tom Spencer from many other bands, including Duff McKagan's Loaded.
No, I've toured with them.
Oh, you toured with them.
I've toured
Okay.
with them in one of my bands.
Let's hold this album up. What in the World is the name of the new album from The Professionals? All the tour dates on their Facebook page, which is a Professionals Band, or on Twitter at Official Pros. So welcome, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. And Paul, this is actually a reunion of sorts because the band existed quite a long time ago at one point, right?
It did. It was the band originally, me and Steve Jones from the Pistols formed after the Pistols split.
And so why was it called The Professionals? Because you were unprofessional in the Pistols, or no?
I don't know. No, the name.
Good question.
The name came from, we wrote the song Join the Professionals, an old song before the band, actually. And we just thought, that sounds good. And we needed a name and thought, that'll do. Didn't put too much thought into it. You know?
And back then, you didn't have to go on Google for 3 days and see if somebody else had your band name. Unlike today, where it's, there's a lot of professionals out there, but most of them aren't bands, I guess.
That's right, yeah.
So back then, I actually saw the Sex Pistols, Paul. I think it was a reunion show at the now defunct Roseland Ballroom. I don't know if you remember that show. It's on West 52nd Street, and I think that was in 2007. I'll never forget that show because I actually jumped into the mosh pit. I got covered with blood, and it was like the time of my life.
sounds like hell, but it was the time of your life.
I know it was. You guys were so tight. I was just blown away about how tight you guys were. But this album, What in the World, is full on punk rock, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, that's what I do. That's what we do, and we still do it. It's always been the way with the music, right from the Pistols through to the original Professionals and other bands I've been in. I just like playing fast rock music. I don't try to be too clever or get too technical. Just go from the feeling, gut feeling.
It's really good, and you recorded some of it, I think, in our good mutual friend Zach Starkey's studio. I believe just outside of London, right?
Yeah, we did, yeah. Oh, you know Zach as well, yeah?
Zach has been in here with his band Shush a couple times.
Well, that was the connection, actually. I started playing with Zach when he was doing the Shush thing.
Oh, wait, didn't you play, a gig down here somewhere?
No, I didn't do that. I think Clem Burke played on
Clem
that,
Burke, right,
yeah.
That's right, yeah.
I played with the London show, what we done. So I played with, that was the connection. I was playing with Zach. Zach's on guitar, because he wants to play guitar now. So I jumped on the drums with Glenn Matlock from the Pistols, and we done a show in London. And then it just, our relationship just progressed, and we needed to record some songs, and so I just asked him for a favour, and he very kindly let us use his studio for free.
He's the best, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great guy, yeah. He was really, really helpful.
So, Tom, how did this happen for you? How did you hook up with this legend right here next to you?
Yeah, we were both guests on a gig. Ginger from the Wild Arts was doing a party gig, and we did a version of Pretty Vacant.
Oh.
The first thing he said to me was, "Don't try and sound like Rotten." Which is kind of like, now I've got to not try and sound like Steve Jones, but there you go. That's how we met. And then we're both from the same area, and we just met down the pub every now and again. And when the boys got back together to sort of the idea of the Professionals, they got me in to sing until Steve Jones could maybe be tempted over.
Right.
And then by the time it was obvious he wasn't going to be tempted over, it had become a thing.
Yeah. And it all seemed to gel pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's great.
By the way, Paul, I loved Man Rays.
Yeah, it's a shame with Man Rays. Yeah, we made 2 albums. Not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
That's the band.
I played it a lot on this show with Phil Collin, man. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we made a couple of good albums with Phil Collin, who's an old friend of mine as well.
Yeah.
We had a 3-piece. And it was a shame because every time we sort of were going to do a little few, he was all back out on the road with Def Leppard again.
Yeah,
because they don't stop touring.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's going to earn he's going to earn a bit more money playing with Def Leppard than he would Man Rays.
It's Paul Cook, and we have Tom Spencer. The band is The Professionals. The new album is What in the World? And lots of your famous friends helping out on this album, including the aforementioned Jonesy, Steve Jones, Mick Jones from The Clash,
Whoa.
Duff from GNR, Billy Duffy from The Cult, and as we mentioned, Phil Collin from Def Leppard. What is Mick Jones up to these days?
Well, apart from playing on our album, not a lot, I don't think. He's been very quiet, Mick, for a long time.
No BAD talk or anything like that?
No, I think he done a BAD reunion. Must have been 5, 6, even 7 years ago now around the UK. That was the last time I think he played live.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of a recluse, Mick, but we live around the same area, West London still, so I bump into him every now and again. And I managed to twist his arm to get him to play on the album, which was great.
Good.
Because I'm trying to get him out, get him going again. But I've heard he's in the studio doing some recording, which is great.
I think I interviewed him when that BAD thing happened 5 or 6 years ago. It was a real honor to speak with him. Paul, this is crazy. I didn't know this. You played on an American soccer team? Is this?
No, I think you're talking about soccer team, probably in Hollywood.
Oh, in Hollywood.
With Steve Jones. He used to play soccer for they had a team there called Hollywood
Oh,
United.
okay. So
They
that was
had a
Jonesy.
Team of celebrities called Hollywood United.
Oh, right.
With ex-professional footballers from the UK.
Oh, okay.
And I did turn up and play a couple of times.
Oh, all right.
But it wasn't in a professional.
In an official
it wasn't
role there?
Professional. No, it wasn't professional.
Hey, Tom, I have to say, you're the first rock and roller who is a stained glass artist.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do a bit of that. That's what I do as my kind of escape from band world.
Right.
So it's nice, go from the madness of band to I've got a studio in London and make sort of rock and roll stained glass.
Wow. So do you have a website where we can look at all that?
Yeah, it's called tattooglass.com.
Tattooglass.com.
It started as a silly idea and it became a business without kind of planning it to be that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
Ironically, it is 40 years since Nevermind the Bollocks came out. So Jonesy had a book. John Lydon had a book. Did you put out a book or no?
No.
You didn't? Okay. I think you should.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that.
Yeah.
I keep saying he should have the Paul Cook book.
Yeah.
Never mind the scholar.
That's the perfect name.
Yeah.
The Paul Cook book.
Come on, the recipes.
Right on the
Recipes.
coffee table.
Yeah, we could do some recipes, a cookbook.
Rock.
You heard it here
Rock
first.
and roll cookbook. No, people keep saying, but Steve's just done his book recently.
Right, yeah.
And so it'd be pointless to do one right now. And not that I really want to anyway.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to, but maybe in a few years, who knows?
But, it's always interesting to hear the perspective of each guy in a band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I read both of the books. I thought both were great. I interviewed John when he came here a couple years ago to talk about it. But it'd be interesting to hear your perspective, too, because you were the drummer. During that time, did you write stuff down? Did you take particular notes of any particular gigs or things that were happening? I mean...
No, but I got quite a good long-term memory, actually. It's short. I can't remember what I done last week,
Right.
like us all these days. But
Yeah.
I've got once I get going and get delve into the memory bank.
And I'm getting the
quite good.
sense that you're the sort of the glue, like, because you still talk to everybody, right?
Yeah, I do. I do, everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think the rest of the guys from the Pistols talk together, but I keep in touch with all of them. Not so much John, but
Right.
we do talk. Yeah,
Right. So, I mean, is it out of the question that one day you might decide to do another sort of one-off or two-off
Yeah.
or four-off gig? Or
Never say never, as they say, but it doesn't look likely at the moment. It looks very unlikely, actually.
to me, I think all the guys in the Sex Pistols should be knighted.
Sir.
Do you reckon they'd turn up?
I think you should be, Sir Paul,
Sir
the
Paul
second
Thomas
Sir
Cook.
Paul, Sir Elton up there with all the guys. I mean, come on, like you guys really changed like the world musically, and I don't know. That's just me.
They're giving them they're throwing them away like they're 10 a penny now. So
Really?
so why not? Yeah, everyone's getting. Who would have thought Mick Jagger would have been knighted back in the 60s?
Right, yeah. Well, they got the CME, the B, they got
MBE, CBE, all that stuff. Yeah, and everyone's getting them these days. They've kind of devalued all that on the system back in the UK.
Would you trust the Queen with a sword next to your neck?
Probably
After
not.
that single, do you know what I mean? It might be one's chance for revenge.
right. But you know, I mean, there was a little friction, obviously, with the Pistols and the Royals 40 years ago. But that's 40 years now. I mean, come on.
I think they've weathered worse things than the Sex Pistols along the way.
I think so too.
Family. I think they'll survive.
Yeah,
I think they'll survive the Sex
Okay, let's start a petition right now. Sex Pistols should all be knighted. How is Duff doing? Do you speak to Duff very often, Tom or Paul? I mean, I know he's got the GNR thing going on, which has been very good to him, I'm sure.
It's Paul's friend. Paul's good friends with Duff. I mean, I'm so glad he's on the album. My thing was, one of my bands, I got to know him in a couple of weeks of touring. So, but I'm not a friend of his.
So how's he doing? Is he loving this GNR thing?
He is, yeah. He's great because they're doing it and they're all sober and they're enjoying it.
Right.
It's kind of better. Sometimes it's better second time round, like it was with the Pistols when we done our reunion tour in '96.
Yeah,
20 years later, and everyone was together, and it sounded much better, and it was organised properly, and things were done right. Sometimes it's better second time. He seemed really happy, and it was great to get involved with our couple of tracks as well, which was great of him.
We are with the Professionals. It's Paul Cook and Tom Spencer. The album is What in the World? What about a tour? I know you got some one-off dates coming up in the UK, right? Like a couple things that you're going to be doing. Going to come back here and play some shows in New York?
Yeah, we hope so because we've got we're playing on we've got an album launch the day it comes out in the UK and on 28th of October. It comes out here on the 27th in the US.
Yeah.
27th of October on the End Records. We've got a deal here with the End. And we're going to wait and see. We have to wait and see what the reaction is and the feedback, I guess, really.
Yeah.
Because it's like you
said.
No
pun intended.
Yeah. It's been a long time, So whether there's an audience for it, we sort of wait and see, really.
If there's an audience, we want to go. We want to play it.
Yeah.
See it,
Well, I want to see the band. After listening to this album, my God, I want to go in the mosh pit again.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There you go. Yeah. Let's hope there's a lot more people like you.
Yeah. So let's play this song. It's the first single. It's called Good Man Down. It's from the new album. What can you tell us about this one?
It's got this one's got Steve Jones and Billy Duffy guesting on it. It's sort of when we're making the album, sometimes a track kind of rises to the top as one that just a little bit of a buzz about it, and it's optimistic and it sort of says everything about the album. I think.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of we're leading.
You have to read the lyrics you'll find out what it's
about. So are we talking about a specific?
There could be a hidden thing.
It could be a hidden message there.
Yeah.
So if we hold it upside down, we'll get some hidden messages.
You play it sideways.
Yeah, exactly. Hold it to a mirror. Yeah.
No, I like a bit of guesswork with the lyrics, but it's pretty obvious once you get it.
Paul Cook, Tom Spencer, man, so good. So glad you guys came here. The album sounds fantastic. I think everyone should go out and buy it right now. The band is The Professionals. What in the World is the name of the new album. We certainly hope we see you play a proper gig here in New York City sometime soon. So in the meantime, best of luck, and thank you so much for coming by, guys.
Thank you very much.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.